Hello all, welcome to 4Dimension Infotech YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to learn about step-by-step guide that how to start the 3D project in Google SketchUp. In step number 1, understand the plot size and facing up the plot, like whether the plot is north, east, south or west face. In the second point, understand the client requirements like whether the plan is 1 BHK or 2 BHK, etc. In the third, basic steps to follow in AutoCAD file before going to import AutoCAD or DWG file into Google SketchUp. In fourth, basic steps to follow in Google SketchUp before going to import AutoCAD or drawing file into Google SketchUp. Step number 5, basics of SketchUp. In 6, basic user interface. 7, navigation tools. Number 8, importing CAD plan inside the Google SketchUp. Number 9, start to create the 3D by using draw tools and layers. In step number 10, modify models by modify tools like push, rotate, scale, move, etc. Step number 11, how to develop 2D CAD plan into 3D. Step number 12, how to design 3D elevation. Step number 13, how to produce high realistic render outputs. And finally, how to create basic walkthrough. Before moving into the SketchUp model, first I would like to represent the basic requirement which we received from the client. We have a road in 3 directions, that is north, east and south. In the north we have 9-meter road and in the east we have 12-meter and south in 9-meter. And the plot size is here what I am showing you. Okay, they mainly combined 4 plots into one plot. Okay, in that they are going to build 2 BHK. So I am representing you a plan, width and length, and I coincident that requirement northeast southwest direction into AutoCAD navigation tools. And for better understanding, here I am showing you a road that we have in the north, east and south. We decorated with the furniture and TV unit. After that, the walkway is there around 10 feet and 6.5 feet, and then we have a central courtyard which is open. Next we have a dining area and then the kitchen to cook along with storeroom, and then we have a dry area. Also we have a toilet, and just after the living room we have another bedroom, that is a common bedroom, and then common toilet, staircase to access the next floor, and the bedroom 2 with walking wardrobe and then toilet. So this is how we propose a 2 BHK plan according to the client requirement, and the other portion we decorated and we developed into as a landscape. We decorated by using the landscape blocks like grass and then trees. So I would like to check the layer properties. Maybe we have unmounted layers also. So in order to reduce the file size, I'm using purge command. So purge command is that you can delete the unwanted things. So I'm using purge to delete the unwanted layers so that the file size will become reduced. Next, I'm going to copy this whole plan and then paste it into the origin. For that, I use Ctrl X to cut it and Ctrl V to copy it. And then you can use your move command and then place where you want. So make sure you are off the ortho. So here I want to check the unit. For that, type UN enter and then use DI enter to check the dimension, because it is very basic step that we have to confirm the unit before going to import any AutoCAD file into another software. The main wall we have is a 9 inch and the partition wall is about 6 inch. Also confirming the width and length of the plot by using DI command. depending on the requirement, you have to download the type of the door which you want. So before going to download, make sure that you have login and then place it like this. So you have to use your move command to place it properly, exactly middle of the frame, and then use scale option to scale up it. For that I am pressing yes and then scale up it like this. And then confirm the swing in which direction you want. So I have to flip it. So simply I select and then right click. So here we have a flip along right like this. And then again you can flip it depending on the requirement. Or else you have to make it mirror by using scale command. So while doing this mirror, I have to pick any midpoint. So make sure that you are moving opposite to the pick point and then give -1 enter like this. And then move it properly. Okay. So this is how I place the door. Okay. So next one is to place the window. Same like that door, I downloaded the window. You can simply use this. Use your move command to move it and scale command to fit it to the required opening. One more method that if you are looking for the manual creation of the windows, then simply draw the plane where you have an opening. Then select that face. Make sure you install the 1001-bit tool free plugin. Then click on the divide selected faces into panels and then number of rows, how much rows you want and how much columns you want. And then you can even customize the depth and width of the frame and then simply click on the create window frame like this. And then no need to even convert this into group R component. Now you can move it exactly in the middle of the frame. After that you can give the material. Select it. Yes. Again the same one, or else even you can copy the created window, move and copy and place it. Okay. So like this way you have to finish with all the window portion. Place it in a proper way by using move command. Use your erase command to erase the unwanted edges. Like this way. So I hope we are done with the windows. And now looking for the lowest, either you can go with a 3D warehouse or else you simply draw the face and then select that face. You can go with the grill, number of grill, create a vertical lowers and create a horizontal lowers. Okay, doing the same thing for this ventilator also, going with the rectangle, select the face and divide that faces into horizontal lowers like this. So this is the sliding door what we have. Again I am going with the rectangle, select that face, go to the this one and then divide it into number of requirement like this. So here like this way we are done with the window portion, and the door here we don't have any door, and here also we don't have any door, and this is just a opening, this is also just a opening. So I'm just pushing it, going the inside, select the edges and copy it into 3 feet and push it. Okay, so like this way we are done with the walls and windows. So next, this wall I want to add it into group. Okay, next I want to select all the furnitures like doors and windows and louvers by using move command and then control like this, and then add that parts into the created doors and windows layer. For that I am going with the entity information and then add it like this. In order to confirm, you have to click that layer as a current layer here and then like this. Like this way you can add it. So once I done with the windows and doors, next I am moving with the floor. For that, either you create the floor on spot or else, for better understand, I just copy the AutoCAD plan by using move and control, keeping it aside here. If you are giving an interior design also to client, then you can just differentiate the floors, or else simply I have to show the plinth, because here the client requirement is to produce only the exterior design. For that I am using rectangle command. So you can start it from any one of the corner and then draw it like this. So this is the, so I have to add this part. For that again I am using the rectangle and then draw it like this. So in order to make it one, just delete the common line between them. So here also I want to differentiate. Again I am just draw the rectangle and then delete it. Like this way you have to continue. So here also we don't have a plinth. Just delete it. So this one you can draw with the line command also, or else you can use a rectangle. Make it into one combined faces. Yes. So this is how we are done with the plinth. I have to add this also, sit out area, and delete the common line between the two rectangles in order to make it one face. I have to give the height about 1 feet 6 inch. This is the plinth height. So it is going to vary depending on the site condition. Then select it, convert it into group, and then simply you have to use your move command to move it and then paste it. Okay, so for better understand, I just want to move this plan also about 1 feet 6 inch. Yeah. So this is the plinth, like this way. Same thing for the slab also. Either you can copy the same, the plinth like this, and paste it, I'm just locking the axis by using a top arrow and place it here. But the thickness of the slab is not 1 feet 6 inch. I'm just going inside the group and reducing it by 1 feet. But here we have a staircase. So we have to go inside and then subtract the staircase portion. This is one of the way that how to create a slab, or else again you have to repeat the same process. Make it Ctrl Y or Ctrl Z. I want to copy this and place it here. Okay. So this portion I have to subtract it. I am going inside the group. Draw the rectangle in which portion you want to delete, and then simply you have to delete that. But if I am deleting it, only the top face is getting deleted. So don't follow this one. Use your push command, push it down, and then when you reach the back edges, you have to double click to complete subtraction. Now already I have done this as a group. Simply you have to move it and then place it over the required location. So this is the way that how you can draw the slab. And in order to make the parapet wall design, either you place the slab outer to outer, or else simply you just go inside and then you just push it back. That you have to minus the wall thickness, so it will be look nice while doing the interior design. Okay. Or else while drawing the rectangle, just you draw the rectangle inner to inner. So this one you can design it with the other slab, or else you can keep it simply. So once you done with the group, then you have to go inside the group and then you have to do editing. Okay, yeah. So this is we are done with the slab. In order to add this slab into the new layer, I create one more layer, that is slab, and then select that and then go to the entity information and then add it like this. So now I just hide it. So we are done with the plinth and then slab like this. So for the plinth, I want to create a new layer. For that, click on the new layer and then give that as a plinth. And then to add this part into the plinth layer, then you can go to the entity information and then add it. So I'm just hiding the portion. So we have to develop the first floor also, but here we don't have a first floor. In the first floor, the basic requirement of the client is, so as this is a hall and then this is a open space we have to leave, and there is no room in the puja area. Okay, this one I just kept it as a open, and this is one bedroom and this is another bedroom. Along with this kitchen I want to convert it into home theater. Means in the first floor I have to create 3 bedrooms with terrace and balcony. For that, what I do, already I developed the first floor. Okay, I simply select the all part like this and then copy it and then paste it like this. So now I have to remove this storage. For that, I'm just going inside and push it back like this way. So here we don't have any passage. The portion which you want to delete, you simply just follow the method like this. Yeah. Okay. Yes. And this one. So if you are getting confused with this, I'm just selecting this one, and then first I have to keep it so that model over this plan. So what I want to do is I just want to delete the unwanted portion. So this one is a home theater. I want to delete this. Yes. Just select it like this and delete. And this also. So we have to go inside because we converted that portion as a group. Either you can push it like this to complete subtraction. Okay, simply I just push it. Okay, so this one is completely a home theater. So I want to give a door here. So I'm just pushing it about this way. Okay. So this is the passage and this is open space and this is also open space. So here we don't have any area. So we can keep that as an open. Like this. We don't have this area also. Delete that. Yes. Okay. So this one you can keep it open or else we can propose it as a balcony or terrace. This is the same bedroom. This is the same bedroom. This one you can convert it into balcony again. Yes. So once I done with the model, this one also I want to completely subtraction. Like this. Yes. So once you are done with this, you can delete the plan and then select the whole portion and just simply move it and place it where you want. So like this way we are done with the first floor. So here also in the first floor I want to delete all these parts because we don't need to keep this. So here I have just use a line command, divide the faces and then delete. So just draw the rectangle here in order to make it separate and then delete it like this. Yes, and I'm just moving this edge like this. So this one also I want to delete because this portion I want to convert a complete terrace. Simply just draw the rectangle here, okay, and use your erase command to erase the number of edges, unwanted edges like this. So here I provide a door so that I can access the terrace, and this also I want to convert into balcony. I just go inside the slab area and divide the spaces and just push it like this. Yes. So this is the total open space we have. So I want to push it back here and then delete this. So go inside the group and then draw the line and then push it back. Like this. So either you can provide the access from this point or else access from this point. So I want to give the access there only, and I want to close this one. Like this, and delete the unwanted edges. Okay. So here I can provide a door. Yeah, so this is the way we are completely done with the ground floor and first floor. Next I want to draw the slab. For that I am just using the line command here. And if you want to access the staircase to the terrace also, you can just leave the gap, or else you can just simply close it and then push it about 6 inch, and then just draw the line command to divide the faces like this. Okay, so delete the edges. And this one, either you can keep it open or else you can cover it with a gazebo as per the client requirement. I'm just keeping it as open. Yes. So this one is a balcony completely. Yes. And convert that into group. And this is the slab. So if you want to provide a gesture, then simply use your rectangle command. Either you can provide an individual window design or else you can provide a combined design like this. Use your fillet command to make it double about 6 inch to 9 inch. Delete the middle rectangle and then use your push command to push it. About 1 feet I want to give, or else even you can go with 1 feet 6 inch to 2 feet. So this one I converted into group, and then use your scale command. Either you can keep this design like this or else I'm simply down like this. So this is the way I want to do design. So I'm just going inside and I'm pushing the slab area to the required portion. Yes. So this one, same thing, use your rectangle command, offset it about 9 inch, delete the inner face and push command about 1 feet 6 inch. Convert this into group. Same thing for the remaining portion. And for the parapet, you have to go inside the slab and then make it offset about 6 inch, and then simply you have to push this one about 3 to 4 feet. Yes. And for the compound wall, we have a 3-side road. The side in which we don't have a road, simply I am just showing the simple compound wall about 6 feet or 5 feet 6 feet, 5 feet 6 inch. So along with the create a cheddar for this. For that rectangle, offset it about 9 inch or 6 inch, delete it, push it about 1 feet or 1 feet 6 inch, and I am just pushing it like this, and I am covering the parapet wall in this itself about 3 feet to 4 feet like this. So this one I want to convert it into group. Next, for this I want to hide this, and for these two windows again I have to create the cheddar like this. So depending on your idea, you can delete the window SketchUp. Delete and push it about just 6 inch because already we have a covering, or else you go with 1 feet. Next, so this one, control, and I just want to join it like this. Delete the unwanted edges like this. Same way, you can just develop a parapet wall design. Okay, yeah, and go to edit and unhide all. So this is the way you can create. Here I don't want to provide the parapet, I want to cut it and I want to push it down. Okay, so here you can create a design. Okay, and use a rectangle again to cover this about 6 inch. So this one you can push it like this and push it. And divide this slab into 2 parts so that I can cover this much area. Yes, next convert this into group. Same thing, convert this into group, convert this into group. Yeah, done. So here you can design gazebo, or you can cover with a slab, or you can cover with any other type if client want a covering, or else you just keep it as open. Next I want to develop the ground. So for that I am just copying it. Take a rectangle. From this point I have to develop the remaining, this one. So already I covered this one. For that again I am just going with a rectangle and subtract it. Yes, same thing, you can subtract the build up area. Delete it, and this also delete it. Yes, this is the way I want. And use your bucket tool and give the material, wanted material. So here I am just giving the rough material because the realistic material I want to give it in Lumion. So depending on that, whether you are going to render this model in the V-Ray, Inkscape or Lumion, depending on that you have to differentiate the parts by applying the different materials. So I am using by default material itself to differentiate. Yes, and again I have to add this. Select the edge and then you can move it, or else go inside the group and just add this portion. Yes, okay. First you just explode it. So you can delete that unwanted part. Delete this line, delete this line. Yes. Okay, and convert this into group and then place it. So on spot only you can develop, or else you can do the way what I am doing here, depending on your convenience. Yeah. So I'm just going inside and moving the edge little like this. So here we have a compound wall. For that I'm just going with a rectangle and about 5 feet to 6 feet you can. So here I just want to subtract the portion Okay, like this. Subtract. Because I want to create another design, and here also we have a compound. So push it. I'm just pushing it like this. Convert it into group. Again, push it back, go inside the group and then push it. So here I am providing a gate. So for the parking, you can cover with another slab area. Here I have to provide a column, and then here also I have to provide a column. To provide the column, I am just going with a rectangle size of 9 inch by 9 inch or 9 inch by 18 inch. So this all we get idea depending on the structural analysis. Like this, I want to convert this into component, and then simply you have to give name is column. So this should be start in the ground level. For that again I have to go inside the group, and I want to subtract this much of the area to avoid the overlap, and then push it back like this, and then scale up it. Yeah. So this column I want to copy it and then paste it here. So you can just go inside the slab group and then subtract. To provide the railing, I just go with rectangle. So delete the unwanted edges. So I'm just going with the rectangle now to design the compound wall, and then again over that I'm draw the rectangle and then copying it into multiple time by using move and control. So the between distance is about 2 feet I can leave. You can just divide the total distance into number of items to make a uniform design like this, and I'm just moving a little bit to adjust the distance between them and then pushing it back. So like this way, depending on your creativity, you can design the compound wall. pushing it. So here I have to cut the slab because of the building. So I just draw the line and then push it like this. Avoid the overlapping. I'm just moving the edge little bit in this side and pushing it like this. So I don't want to show the complete slab like this. I want to provide the glass. So adjusting here in this side. For that I'm just using push command. So provide the offset and then use push command to subtract it. So for this opening I'm going to provide the glass. For that again I'm using a rectangle. Before going to that, I just want to make it group and apply the material for the framing of the glass. You can apply any material. I'm just applying the rough material here. Draw the rectangle. Again, draw the rectangle and delete the common line between the two rectangles to make it one rectangle or one surface. And for this plane, you can give the thickness and just move it in a required position and then apply the glass material for this. And then make it group. and in the corner portion, if I want to show corner edges, smooth edges, for that I'm just using arc command, 2-point arc. You can go ahead with the 2-point arc, click the first point, and then when you get a pink color, it doesn't mean that it is a tangent to the first point. So like this way, repeating the same process in this side also, and then giving push to define the height, and then yes. Okay, so it's almost ready to import into the Lumion. So I just want to reduce the parking slab little bit so that I get a parapet wall design like this, and then reducing the column sizes according to it. Yeah, now it's look good now little bit. So this glass has moved again, so I want to move it. So once you say Lumion Live Sync, you get a model here. So I want to rotate it little. So make it up because the road is not visible. For that you just come to the move mode and then I'm moving it up little by using the up and down arrow. So if you want to rotate the model, then you can go with the rotate option and then rotate it. So sync the directions according to the requirement. So that is, we have a north, east and south road. Now I am just clicking on the weather option. So change the weather, change the shadow orientation. So next, if you want to create the landscape depending on the site requirement, then you can go and then create the landscape. Now I have a materials option. So by using that I can change the materials. So the SketchUp wall is looking gray a little bit here, so I want to edit that. So select the